If there's one thing we know for sure, it's that everything we do revolves around our core. That's our amazing local journalism. The Marion County Record is a small, family owned newspaper in Kansas, about 60 miles north of Wichita. It has 7 employees and a circulation of about 4,000. This little publication is at the center of a controversy that involves nothing less than democracy, press freedoms, and the First Amendment. On August 11th, the town's entire 5-person police department, along with 2 sheriff's deputies, raided the newspaper offices and the home of the paper's co owner and publisher. The raid was in response to information the newspaper received from a confidential source. Our newsrooms in Kansas City and Wichita led the breadth of the national coverage from the time the story broke. A video of the raid was made available to our reporters. As you watch the video, pay attention to everything happening in the house and think about the attack on democracy that's occurring.
Your mother loves you. You love your mother. You're an asshole. Police chief. You're the chief. Oh, God. Get out of my house. You're pet patrol. Get out. Stand outside. You can stand outside that door and you still see them. I don't want you in my house. I don't want you. You do not take them. What?
That's a business class route or has no?
What?
Leave a message after.
Is there another one downstairs, another computer?
Thank you.
We never went down there, and he stayed up here the whole time.
Well, that was yeah. What's he doing over there going through the papers?
How many computers do you have in the house, ma'am?
I'm not going to tell you. Get out of my way.
It's all right.
I want to see what they're doing.
Well, they're working.
I don't care what
So
they're
you
doing.
can go on through if you want.
What are you doing? Those are personal papers.
Ma'am, those aren't papers, they're electronic devices, which is what the judge said that we're supposed to take.
The day after the raid, Joan Meyer, the 98-year-old co-owner of the paper, collapsed and died at her home. Her son, the publisher, said the stress of the incident contributed to her death. Several things distinguished our coverage, but especially urgency. Not long after hearing about the raid, editors and reporters in Kansas City and Wichita began digging into what happened and why. They strategized and decided to cover the story from an opinion reporting standpoint first, in part because that allowed us to stand firm on the First Amendment and the protection of media privacy. This was followed with strong backgrounding and watchdog reporting and even stronger opinion pieces. 2 days after the raid, our news and opinion editorial teams were far ahead of all competitors, with details on the police chief and the death of Mrs. Meyer. And because of our reporting, the search warrant was revoked. Our newsrooms collaborated to hit all the marks that matter in excellent coverage: urgency, accountability, authority and expertise, public service, local focus, impact, and results. National news organizations and other competitors across the country were playing catch up to our local and aggressive reporting. Our news and opinion editorial teams have published 53 stories, with more to come. These numbers continue to grow. This was both top of funnel and subscription success through our lead to and direct conversions.
Our phenomenal coverage also sparked strong reaction and connections on social media, with more than 120,000 social referrals combined across stories on both sites, from Instagram to Threads to Facebook and YouTube. The value of the work we do is evident in the Star's YouTube video of Joan Meyer's son, Eric. As he says, "How dare they?"
The question I came up into my mind to how dare they is how dare they take a 98-year-old woman and have the last day of her life be a holy hell? The last day of your life is supposed to be visit your great-grandchildren, watch the birds sing, look at the squirrels playing in the nest, be with your loved ones, die a gentle death. She died under extreme stress and died with somebody attacking a newspaper that she had spent 50 years of her life working with. She still worked for the paper. She still worked every week.
The raid and subsequent coverage also sparked strong reactions from throughout the industry, nationally and internationally. The Reporters Committee for Freedom of the Press released a letter condemning the raid. It was signed by 35 media organizations, including McClatchy. Other press freedom groups weighed in with their concerns and condemnation of the raid, as did the White House. The Eagle and the Star wrote separately about many of these reactions as their coverage swarm continued.
We aren't done yet. Our job now is to keep that audience coming back to us based on the trust and credibility we have built with this reporting, both in terms of audience retention and new audience. An email from a subscriber to Kansas City executive editor Greg Farmer after the publication of his powerful column says it all. The reader wrote, "Truth matters, newspapers matter, reporters matter. Thank you." This email is the reason we are all here. We are here to ensure that abuse of power is exposed and eliminated. That's why local journalism is essential. Truth matters, and it informs citizens to make the best decisions possible. Please join us in congratulating both of these newsroom staffs and their leaders on a job well done.